What's up guys, it's Roger, and today we are bringing back one of my favorite builds. It is my Lightning God build on my Blink Hunter here. This build is just so much fun. You're cracking skulls open with your Cloud Strike here. It's spawning lightning strikes. You got the lucky raspberry nades going all over the place. Let's go ahead and break down all the stuff we're going to be using, and then we can get into the gameplay. So of course we have the new mod system all redone. I've gotten a little bit more used to it. So let's see what I'm running here. On the helmet, I'm going to have on a harmonic targeting. That's going to help for my targeting on the arc weapon. Of course, it's going to be the Cloud Strike there. On our strand weapon here, which is going to be the Immortal, we'll go over that roll in a little bit. We have some targeting for that. I have some dexterity for that Immortal right there. And then I have two ways here to generate orbs. First of all is going to be firepower. That says grenade final blows create orbs of power. Pretty nice, and we're going to be getting nade kills pretty often. For the most part, our nades are there to just do some little damage and then we go in. But with Lucky Raspberry, you're going to see there's one clip I had today where I think I got like 6 or 7 nades thrown over the course of about 20 seconds. Now over here we have Heavy Handed. This is one of my favorite mods in the entire game right now, especially in PvP. This says your power melee final blows create orbs of power. We'll break down exactly what our powered melee is going to be in just a little bit and how we can get pretty easy orbs out of this, but when you see that, you're going to see that it's a pretty good combo. On the chest armor here, we are going to be using the Lucky Raspberry Exotic. Now, I know people love their Stompy Crush, their Worm Husk Crutch, but I'm telling you guys, expand your horizons a little bit, have some more fun. You got things like this, you got Gemini Jesters in the game, you know, you got Shinobu's Vow. There's so many fun exotics that you can just have a ballpark of a time with, and this right here is definitely one of them. This has Probability Matrix on it. It says increase the chaining capabilities of Arc Bolt Grenade and has a chance to recharge it each time it deals damage. A full chain always recharges. I think that takes it from 3 to 4 in terms of its chaining. And if you do hit that full chain, like it says, it fully recharges. But you don't even need to hit a full chain to recharge. I think every chain that hits increases the chance that you get a full nade recharge by 25% each time. So once you hit that 4th chain, that's why it guaranteed recharges, because it goes 25% on the first chain, 50% on the second chain, 75% on the third chain, and by the time that 4th chain hits, that's a 100% chance that you're going to get your nade completely back to you. You can see here I do have some unflinching stuff for our sniper and for our Immortal right here, but yeah, this is a great exotic. Definitely recommend you try it out, and you'll see in the gameplay today why it can be so good. Down here on the boots, we do have a holster mod, just to reload that sniper without having to take it out, a little strained weapon surge here, and then the Innervation leg armor mod right here. That says it reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick it on Orb of Power, so you know, we get Orbs of Power pretty frequently in this build. You just get some nades back even more frequently because a big part of this build is just chucking nades out there to be an absolute lightning god. Finishing off our mods here on the cloak, we do have on a bomber mod. 2 of those actually, I just have them separated like a doofus. That says reduce grenade cooldown whenever you use your class ability, so you dodge, you get some nade energy back. That's very nice. And then finishing it off, we have Reaper mod here. I always recommend you have Reaper mod on, no matter what build you're using, whether you're on Titan, Hunter, or Warlock. I think it is probably the best on Warlock and Titan in my opinion, but it's still very good, especially if you are an aggressive build type Hunter where you go in a lot, then this is going to be very good for you. Every time you're going to use your dodge, the next kill you get with a weapon final blow, of course, keep that in mind, it has to be a weapon final blow, not any final blow, has to be a weapon. That's going to spawn an Orb of Power, so this, along with our other 2 mods up here, are the 3 ways you can make Orbs of Power. You can see there, those are the big parts of this build. Over here, of course, we are going to be using the Cloud Strike. Cloud Strike is very good. You tap somebody on the head. If their teammates are close to them, it's probably going to take their teammate out very easily too. If not, do around like 170 damage, but usually does around 200 damage to any teammates that are standing on top of them. I have a few good clips today where I just get some absolutely bonkers multi-kills. Hope you guys enjoy those. And something I actually noticed is that if you kill, I think it might be the 2nd person who dies to the actual lightning strike that comes down from this Cloud Strike, they get jolted and immediately die, and you get immediately amplified. I don't think you just get amplified if you get a regular headshot from this thing, but I think if you kill somebody with the extra perk on Cloud Strike here, you get immediately amplified, which I think is a really cool thing, and I didn't actually know that it worked like that until today, but I noticed it in a few clips, and I'll make sure I point it out for you guys because it's really nice. Up here, I do have the Immortal on here. I have on a Target Lock and Encore roll. I don't have the God roll there of like Keep Away Target Lock or Rangefinder or anything like that, but Encore is still pretty solid. I get some extra stability and range and stuff like that, or it might not be stability, but definitely range. You can see right here. Final blows grant stacking stability, range, and accuracy bonus to this weapon. And then, of course, target lock. The longer we can remain on target, the more damage we can do. 83 range on this thing because I do have an adept range mod. Field tested will bump that range basically up to max, I'm pretty sure. So this is quite a good gun. This is the only time I'm going to be using it. I'm not going to use it in any more videos, but I'll just like screw it. Everybody in Trials right now, it's literally Trials of Immortal right now. And it's really cringy. Everybody's crutching this gun, and it's so good. You know, it'd be dumb not to crutch it, but at the same time, it's like, have a little fun at some point too, guys. Don't just crush this stinky little meta all day. Have some fun, because when all of us are just using this, it ruins the game for everyone unless they start putting it on, which is the only reason I put it on, so that I wouldn't have to get my cheek holes slapped the entire day. On the Arc 3.0 here, I do have on Gathering Storm. I have on a Marksman dodge so I can get our Immortal reloaded really quickly in the heat of battle. I have on Blink, of course, because I'm not some little freaky little grasshopper boy. I have on Combination Blow, so we take somebody out. That's going to give us some class ability energy back and give us a little bit of a heal, which is very nice in the heat of combat. I have on Arc Bolt nades. Of course, we're not going to be throwing around some Pulse nades or something. No, we're using Lucky Raspberry, my boy, so we need those Arc Bolts on. Over here, I do have on Flow State, so if we kill somebody that is jolted, we do get amplified. I have on Tempest Strike, which I always recommend you use Tempest Strike if you're using an SMG build, because you're going to want that longer range melee. I recommend you use your Lethal Current here in a sometimes in a sidearm build, honestly, but mostly in shotgun builds is where I say use the Lethal Current, but today we are going to be using this Tempest Strike. Now down here, for our fragments, I have on Spark of Haste, which is one of our new fragments. This gives you plus 30 to your resilience, recovery, and mobility when you are running around. You can see I had to sacrifice a little bit of my recovery stat and my mobility stat to get 100 discipline. But when I run around, that gives me max recovery, and it's going to give you 60, 70, 82 mobility right there. Of course, 70 on our resilience too, so this is a very good fragment right here. Recommend always run this. I have on this, defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace. Like we said, you take somebody out with a double kill on your Cloud Strike, boom, immediately get an ionic trace there. You take somebody out after you hit them with your nade, because I do have on this fragment right here, Spark of Shock, your arc grenades jolt targets. You take them out when they're jolted. I had so many good clips there. I was getting so much jolt damage too, and then you get the perfect ionic trace after those kills, so you're getting your abilities back like crazy. And finishing it off here, I do have Spark of Recharge, so whenever we get critically wounded, your melee and grid energy regenerates more quickly. This is just the last piece of the puzzle to make sure we always have our nades up. If you do have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments or join the Blinkville Discord server. I'm going to have that linked in the top right and in the description. Now I want to tell you this is an updated version of my Lightning God build. I have done this build before, but I just updated it with new fragments and whatnot and all these new mods to give it that nice little spin that it needed. So if you do want to see the original version of this build, I did that a few weeks ago before the last season ended. I'm going to leave that on the end screen of this video, so you can go ahead and watch that video next. All that being said though, I think we're ready to get into this video. Before we do, if you do want to leave me a like at any point, I very much appreciate that. I think we're ready to go into this gameplay though, so let's go ahead and blink right into it. So right off the bat, I have my first round of the day for you guys. I like to get that first round clips for you guys so you can see that I'm still, figuring out the strategy for myself. I don't know exactly what I want to do, where I want to go. And sniping is something that I've never actually done on the Burnout before. You can see there, hit a nice little snipe. And I gotta say, I don't think I'll snipe too much in the future on Burnout because I don't really like how closed a lot of these angles are and how thin they are. I missed snipes a lot of times, just because I couldn't react fast enough before somebody just went phew and they zoomed across a lane. You can see we spawned an Overpower right there by getting a kill with our Empowered Melee, which our heavy-handed mod spawned us a little Overpower, so that's pretty cool. And we also got some nade energy back. If you want to rewind, you can see the nade energy we got back after picking up that orb, which is another little mod we have, so nice stuff right there. Now you can see here, I watched that in slow motion. I gotta tell you guys, I must have shot that kid straight in his freaking dimple of his cheek, bro. And somehow Bungie was like, sorry, pal, nope, that's not good enough. You did not get a headshot there. So I had to take the second shot. Luckily, the second one was on point and actually took him out. But like, I'm telling you guys, that first shot was on his head. It's crazy to me. Maybe his shoulder flew up in the way or something. I don't know. But either way, we made it work. You can see when I flew in there, I did throw in the Empowered Melee as well, because that will also jolt the enemies. And jolt is so good for this map, I will say. That's one thing. The jolt effect on this map is so good because on this map, people group up a lot. And that's another reason why if you're going to snipe, I would recommend you use Cloud Strike because people group up all the time. This area that I'm at right now is a place that I really started to like to go. You can blink over there at the start of a round like I just showed you. That is a great example of the nade right there. You can see our nade is fully refilled because it chained enough times where it just went boop, straight back full. And they all got jolted and they all were just knocking energy or damage, I should say, between them. And it's just so good when you get those nades going off. Like, it feels amazing. But yeah, this area that I'm at right now, you can see straight down. These cheese wheels, they're going to move around. You got to be careful of those. But if those aren't blocking the bush, then you can do some good stuff. I kill the first guy there. I use my dodge to completely reload my weapon as fast as I can. I slide into the next guy, and that spawns us an Orb of Power on the ground right there, which I should have picked up because it would have given my nade back completely, but I kind of forgot to pick up the Orb of Power there. So that's something I do want to mention to you guys. If you forget to pick up the Orb of Power at the end of a round, if you use your dodge, your rift, whatever it is, at the end of a round, and you kill somebody and your Reaper mod drops an orb, keep that in mind. Like, okay, I better pick up my Orb of Power now. You can see it can be a little risky if you go to that side of the map. My teammate's pumping into me there, but people can push onto your right. So just make sure before you start aiming down sights that you look at your radar a little bit because you don't want to get caught off guard if you can help it. And besides that, I do want to say look at the left side of the screen. We got another nade back immediately from throwing that in there. Good stuff, good damage. Take out the second guy there. And you'll love to see that. But But yeah, you gotta be careful, especially when you're running away from that area, because people will be right outside of there sometimes, so be very careful with that. Teammate cleans up that last kill right there, and we secure that round. This is another spot I like to go if you want to challenge right here, so you can pre-throw that nade, and it will tickle some cheeks right there, take out that guy, get a headshot, and we are amplified because we did kill him after a nade hit him, so we were immediately jolted. And like I said, we'll get to some clips whenever I get like double kills, but I want to show you, look, there's one nade recharge right there, and I fly in, I use my little melee, we take that guy out. There's one round, I'll make sure I point it out for you guys. I think I counted it was either 5 or 6 nades back in one round. I threw them all like in a span of 20 seconds, and it was beautiful, man. Unfortunately, my second nade there got caught on the top of that little pillar, but hey, it happens to the best of us. You can see me flying in here, just taking some shots with this gun, and man, you know, target lock is such a cool perk, but it's just so strong. And it's times when they release perks like target lock that I'm like, I'm so confident that they don't fucking test their game. Like, who the hell playtest this game? Because how would you ever have made target lock, especially, it's strong on a lot of guns, right? But it's super strong on this Immortal right here. I was taking some shots on that guy so he couldn't get the res, and he didn't. And then we got the second guy dead, and then my teammate just threw the round anyways, so it didn't really matter there. But it's just like, boggles my mind how they claim that they playtest their game so much, yet something like target lock actually made it through to the final, you know, cut here and put it into the game in its current state. And now it's like, of course they're gonna have to go and nerf it now, but it's like, how did this make it in to begin with? It's so fucking overpowered. Like, a 2-year-old could have looked at that for 2 seconds and been like, hey chief, I don't know if we should throw this in the game right now. And anyone else would be like, you got a point, little baby man. I don't really know how you're talking this well, but you got a point. It's just like, I guess they didn't listen to baby man, because here it is in the game right now, and it just blows me away. So you can see here we're blinking down towards mid again. This middle pillar is a great spot to play on. Unfortunately, Cheese Wheel will suck up your nades a lot, so be careful of throwing it over that dumb little thing. It was happening with my scatter nades in my Warlock build too, because, man, it just gets caught on there, and it's really frustrating. But you can see, nice little shot there, finishes that guy off. Trying to get one shot on this guy. Unfortunately, he goes back to the left at the last second, so that whiffs. This guy did not check his radar, so he went right past me. I use a dodge a second after that so I can reload my Immortal completely. Target lock is going to let me do most of that guy's health. I fly in, use my empowered melee there. You can see some extra jolt damage is going off on that second guy as he flies up, and we take them out quite handily right there. I really do love the jolt effects. Honestly though, it's kind of interesting to me, because here's the way I see it. So we have something like volatile and suppression and weaken on void, and I think those are such good effects. We have cure and heal on solar, right? And I think those are super strong too. Obviously, we all know healing nades are just a pain in the butt cheek, but then it comes to arc here, and it's like you have jolt, and like that's the big negative effect. And oh, this is the round with all the nades, by the way. So I think that was nade number 4. Throw one more there. I think, does that one refresh or not? Yeah, there, that one refreshes again. So I think I threw 5 or 6 nades within the span of like 20 seconds here. So you guys can see, and even still, I missed that last nade, right? Didn't get a single tick of damage on it. Look at the bottom left. I picked up 1 orb of power. I did a dodge. Now that guy's dead. I already have half of my nade up. We have 100 discipline, of course, too, but half my nade up as I go into the next round. But you can see there how good Lucky Raspberry can be. You don't even need the full chains to really get the most max efficiency, I should say, out of the exotic, because you'll just get lucky sometimes. But even still, you get 2 people next to each other, and you're going to get that max chains quite easily. And then you get rounds like that where you're just going nade, 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 and the enemy's sitting there like you're literally bombing Guantanamo Bay, and they just can't get out of there, and you're just like, sorry brother, this is just where you live now. And that just feels so good to me. It's something about these fun exotics, you know, where it's not just like, I use my Ophidian aspect so I can go punch and have good handling. I use my stompies so I can be a fast little freak and jump high. And it's like, cool. That's really boring. I want to use an exotic that lets me literally just chuck 1,000 nades at my enemies and just goof around with that, get some amplified, you know, throw some jolt in the enemy, because that's fun. That's actually fun. If this community ever started playing the game for fun, I can't even tell you how much fun we could all have. But instead, here's Trials of Immortal, where we're all sitting here shooting stram bullets out of each fucking crevice of our body, because that's all we can do, because Bungie was just like, hey, Terra's really strong, but instead of nerfing it immediately when the season starts like we should, what we're gonna do is wait and make a gun that's so fucking power crept that you forget Terra exists, because this one's just straight up 10,000 times better. And it's like, wow. You can see here we got an Ionic Trace and an Orb of Power. That is so much ability energy back. You gotta love that stuff. Oh, and then here's another thing. Sword slashes just don't work. Let's see. Eager Edge locks on. Boom, there's the sound effect. There is the physical showing of the sword slash on the screen right there to show that, yeah, I connected fully with that sword slash on that guy. Just didn't kill. Just said no. Watch it in slow motion. Oh yeah, I sliced his bushy up like a nice PB&J, baby. Guess what? It just didn't do damage. It just didn't kill him because Bungie just can't make sword slashes work. And I mean, hey, why should I be surprised? They just don't want to make the game work. But touching back on the Immortal stuff, I mean, it just boggles my mind that they just were like, hey, let's just power creep it instead of actually nerfing Terabyte. It's just like now we're here with more overpowered guns instead of having less of them like we should have, so we can actually have some more fun in this game. And it's just like, man, I'm getting tired, guys. I'm out here and I'm just like wanting to fall asleep. Honestly, I want to put that Immortal straight in my ass cheeks and pull the trigger and let it just fucking fly up, dude, because it's getting tough. It's getting tough watching the decisions they keep making in this PvP sandbox. Some of them were fine. I mean, ooh, that was a nice Gathering Storm right there, I gotta say. I mean, even Gathering Storm, we've talked about Gathering Storm before, but like, literally, I had to make sure I actually aimed that Gathering Storm more so to the right because the actual reticle on Gathering Storm isn't correct. Gathering Storm doesn't throw where the reticle aims. It throws to the side of it. And they still haven't fixed it, and they'll never address it because they just don't care. Because the Super's dog stinks, and they're just like, let it be bad, and it's like, why? What does letting it be bad do for you? Don't you guys want to have more of a diverse Crucible, a sandbox where many things can be at least competent, if not viable or above at the same time? And it's right there on the left side of the screen. You can see that's where I got amplified. So that's what I'm telling you guys. If you hit it one headshot and the second guy dies to the lightning strike from your cloud strike, it does make you amplified. So keep that in mind. Pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it is just turning into a little rant now. But this is the stuff that's been boggling me for a while now with the sandbox. And it's just like this. The problem with Destiny PvP is a mixture between the devs not knowing how to make a balanced sandbox and the community being way too used to abusing the broken stuff instead of having any kind of integrity. So you put all that together, you know, a shitty community with people who don't know how to do their jobs, and then you get the sandbox we're currently in. And it's like, why do we have to be here right now? You can see again amplified because I got the nice little two-piece there with the Cloud Strike, and then I get to go in with this absolutely ridiculous gun and just put that kid into the dirt. I mean, he was crutching Osteostriga because he can't aim apparently, so I don't feel too bad about killing that guy, but overall it's just like, oh man, yeah, my nuts are sucking into my body every time I play this game, I swear. Oh, look at that though, look at that jolt, see how much fun that is? That energy just jolting between them and it kills them both. That's actually interesting and fun. Make more stuff like that. Make more stuff where I had to actually throw a nade and hit some shots to like get those kills, but it was actually interesting and fun. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Bungie? I'm kidding, they don't know what I mean. Anyways, we are on the last two clips here, so I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to leave a like or subscribe, I'd very, very much appreciate that. I should have a Warlock build coming out after this, sometime tonight, tomorrow, I don't know. It was already out and I had to actually pull the video down and see if I can actually even make it work. So if it's not up, then that means I have even more technical difficulties because the files have just been like messed up and it's been an absolute mess trying to get that video out to you guys. So I do sincerely apologize that I don't have that out to you. I wanted to get out on Friday and it was just mess after mess after mess, and it's just like I've been losing my mind this weekend, I'll be honest with you guys, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do want to see the Warlock gameplay that I have coming out to you guys, then go ahead and make sure you're subscribed, and I'll have that out sometime soon as possible. Again, I really do apologize that isn't out right now already, but hey, sometimes stuff just doesn't work out. But thank you guys so much for watching. That is going to do it for me today. And I really appreciate you guys. And oh yeah, we hit 4K subs, so thank you guys so much for that. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I don't have any special plan or anything, but just thank you. I appreciate it. That is it for me today, though, so as always, have a great day, Guardians.